I felt my phone vibrate in the quiet of our living room. It was her, my wife. I picked it up, expecting a mundane text, maybe something about dinner or a late meeting. Instead, the screen lit up with, "Company party ran late. Let's celebrate tomorrow." I stared at it, thumb hovering over the reply button, a strange chill crawling up my spine. Tomorrow, I whispered under my breath, tasting the word like ash. Something about it didn't sit right. I'd known, even before seeing the message, what it really meant. I didn't need her to say it. I already felt in the pit of my stomach, a slow-burning certainty I tried to ignore. Earlier that day, she'd seemed different. Her laugh a little too sharp, her eyes glancing away when I asked about her day. Her phone kept buzzing, and she'd grown tense whenever it did. At first, I convinced myself it was paranoia. Stress at work, deadlines, the usual nonsense, but an unease had been building for weeks. Missed calls I brushed off, messages deleted too quickly, sudden meetings that never existed. Every little inconsistency had been quietly gnawing at me. I remembered yesterday. She'd slipped out under the pretense of picking up groceries, her coat hastily pulled on, hair slightly disheveled. She kissed my cheek like she always did, but avoided looking me directly in the eyes. Something about her touch felt different, detached, almost rehearsed. I had shrugged it off at the time, telling myself I was imagining things. Now, with her text in front of me, the puzzle pieces fell together with sickening clarity. The familiar apartment smelled the same. Coffee from a morning, faint vanilla from a candle. But it felt alien, a stage where I had been blind to the play unfolding around me. I scrolled through our shared messages, looking for clues that weren't there. She was meticulous, careful, leaving no digital trace. I tried to calm myself, shaking my head. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe it's innocent. Maybe I'm wrong. But my chest tightened, every heartbeat echoing suspicion. I replayed the little signs. The sudden need to stay late at work. The laughter that didn't reach her eyes when she FaceTimed. The faint perfume that wasn't hers. My mind raced, twisting memories into evidence, each recollection sharper than the last. By the time she walked through the door that night, it was past 10. The apartment was dark, the only light spilling from the living room lamp. She smiled, a practiced, warm smile, but my stomach churned. "Hey," she said, hanging her coat. "Sorry. Party ran longer than expected. Let's have our celebration tomorrow." I nodded, silent. My voice had vanished somewhere between dread and disbelief. We sat on the couch, the distance between us suddenly enormous, though we were only a foot apart. Her hand brushed mine lightly, but I flinched, not out of anger, but because that touch was no longer hers to give. Hours passed in suffocating quiet. Eventually, she went to bed, her breathing even, peaceful. I stayed awake, heart hammering, replaying the text, the little signs, every fleeting smile that now felt like a lie. That's when I found it, an email notification she'd forgotten to close. I didn't open it immediately, fearing what I'd see, but curiosity outweighed caution. The inbox held months of correspondence, intimate messages with someone whose name made my chest ache. Every affectionate word she'd typed, every plan she'd made, every small betrayal carefully hidden in plain sight. I stared at the screen, unable to reconcile the woman I loved with the words before me. Sleep didn't come. I drifted between memories of her warmth and the stark reality of her betrayal. Our anniversary, quiet mornings over coffee, the way she laughed at my terrible jokes, they all felt like rehearsed moments now, masking a truth I couldn't ignore. I remembered our vows, the promises we made, and how easily they'd been broken. The next morning, she tried to explain. Her words tumbled out in a mix of guilt and justification. "I didn't plan for this to happen," she said, tears in her eyes. "It just did. It doesn't mean I don't love you." Her voice cracked, reaching for me, but I felt nothing but a hollow ache. Love, when tainted by deceit, loses its power. I listened, nodded, but said nothing. My trust had been shattered, replaced with clarity I hadn't asked for. I realized then that staying would only prolong the pain, turning our shared history into a cage of resentment. I had loved her fiercely, and that love would always remain a part of me, but I could no longer let it define my present. I packed a small bag, leaving her note simple. I need to find myself again. I hope you find your truth, too. No anger, no accusations, just a quiet assertion of self-respect. Walking out the door, the city air felt sharp, cleansing. For the first time in months, I breathed without the weight of uncertainty pressing on my chest. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but I know I'll face it honestly, without lies, without someone else's betrayal shadowing every step. Sometimes love isn't enough, not when trust is gone. And sometimes the hardest lessons teach you the most vital truth. You deserve to walk freely, even when it hurts to leave.